This ceremony is an opportunity to remember all those we have lost. It is a chance to celebrate their lives. Tonight, let us celebrate and honor the lives of not only our valiant cancer survivors, but also those who are no longer with us. Cancer shows no preference. It strikes children, adults, family, co-workers, and friends. Tonight, let us pay a tribute to those we love and those whose lives have been touched by cancer. As we begin the Luminaria ceremony, let us join together in a moment of silence to remember why we relay. Thank you, and help me welcome Louis Cabibi, who is a Finance and Information Systems dual major, relaying for his mom.
Love you too, guys. I just wanted to thank everybody for coming out. I think it's really cool that everybody's here. Not only supporting their family members, but other people's family members. We all go to LAU Post, and to support your fellow alum or alma mater, it's a really cool thing to have everybody come out and just support everyone else. So thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. Can everybody hear me all right? Is this good? All right. Whew. I got this. Good evening, everybody. A lot of you know me as R.A. Lewis, but I promise R.A. is not my first name. For those of you who don't know me, I am Louis James Cabibi, and this is the Caregiver speech. It's basically a speech that is meant to be given by someone who's been affected by cancer and their story behind it. It's a speech as to why I relay. When I was asked to give the speech, I was very hesitant about it, and I really had no desire because I was afraid I wouldn't be able to do it physically, mentally, and emotionally. And the more I thought about it, I realized that if what I have to say here to all of you today can just help one person get through a very difficult time, then it's worth a few minutes of feeling completely vulnerable in front of all of you today. In 1997, it was the first time I was affected by cancer. It was then that my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer for the first time. Although a young 5-year-old boy at the time, I knew my mom was sick, but I really didn't understand the severity of it. I remember the hospital trips, the rehab, the wigs. I really didn't know what was going on. All I knew was that a few months later, I was lucky to have my mom back stronger than ever when she beat it. Years later, in the summer of 2013, our worst fears came back. I still remember my mom walking in the room telling me the bad news. In fact, she didn't even have to say a word. The look on her face said it all. I looked at her and I asked her, "Did it come back?" She just nodded her head as her eyes got all watery. I can't even imagine being in her shoes, having to tell her child that her cancer came back. I was in shock, but I knew my mom was strong and that if she beat it once, she could do it again. Unfortunately, in June 2004, my mother lost her life to breast cancer, but put up one hell of a fight. My mother may have lost her life to cancer, but it was the only thing she lost. She never lost her faith, her happiness, her drive, her love, her determination, her passion, her kindness, her personality, and above all else, she never lost her humor. It is for these reasons that I'm here, not to mourn the loss of my mother, but I'm rather here to celebrate my mother's life. If there's anything I want anyone to take from this is, don't let cancer take away your spirits, ever. And what do I mean by this? When I lost my mother, I was a parentless 21-year-old. And 10 days before my 22nd birthday, I was at church giving my mother's eulogy. I was sad, depressed. I cried myself to sleep every night for a very long time. The hardest thing in the world is losing your motivation. My motivation was making my mom proud of me. I wanted her to see me go to a good college, get a good job, become an RA, and become the first child she saw graduate. I wanted her to actually see me accomplish these things and not just try to do them. Losing her in that drive to keep going is still the hardest part. What kind of mother wants to see her son be an underachiever? What I came to realize is that I had a choice. I could die with my mother or I could live for her. Do I just quit everything because my mom isn't physically here? Or do I keep living to make her proud of me and the man she raised? We need to be greater than what we suffer. It's easy to feel hopeless when you go through such a calamity when cancer strikes. There are dark days for me, and there still will be very many dark days to come. There will be days where I feel and have felt all alone, but then that is when hope is needed most. It is why we're all here today. We all have hope that one day we will find a cure and have no one endure this again. It is why I relay to celebrate and remember my mom, but for also for anyone who has ever been affected by this or who may have been in the same situation. I relay so what happened to me doesn't happen to anybody else. Thank you.